My name's I'm originally from Kingsville, Texas, about 2 hours from here. And we've been here in Zapata for a little over 6 years. I pastor the First Baptist Church in Zapata, and that's the main reason we're here. I also teach chemistry at the high school, and here recently we opened up this gym, this boxing gym here in this community for various reasons, which I'll get to here in a minute. But really the inspiration behind the opening of this gym was, I've got a good friend of mine back in Kingsville who's a classmate of mine, who has a very successful gym there in Kingsville. And he's a Christian as well, and he's very connected to the church, Esa Bautista Central there in Kingsville. And he's always had a passion for boxing, and so have I. We've always shared that passion. But I was really blown away at how he took and sort of took the passion of boxing and created sort of a ministry in the community of Kingsville. He's been operating for quite some time now, at least 15 years. And I've seen that gym evolve to what it is now. And I've been speaking with Jaime. It's really interesting because he's got a passion for boxing, but he also has a passion for the community. And he's worked with so many kids throughout the years, and many of these kids don't grow up to be professional boxers, but they'll always come back and tell Jaime that he's sort of contributed to their success in life because of the discipline required in boxing and the rigor of the training. So I was watching all of that from the sidelines. I wasn't involved in his gym, but it was really interesting to see the impact that he had on that community. Long term now, over the years, his son is now a champ, little Oscar, and he's got several belts. And he's really pulled the community together in support of him. Now, little Oscar's a great guy. He goes around talking, speaking at the schools, encouraging kids to study and to stay in school. And he's also very active in his church, teaching Sunday school. And they also have classes there at the gym. Anything from ethics, morals, to just general behavior and how you should be a good citizen. So I saw all of that and I said, man, I love boxing too. And this community here has a lot of young folks. I began to see that there were a lot of kids at the high school that love to fight. And so our goal here was definitely not to create fighters in the school, but really to begin to teach them to be disciplined with that. To learn to control their anger, to learn to sort of manage their lifestyle a little bit. And so as pastor of the church, began to figure out a way how we could incorporate, I guess, a gym and use it as a way of ministry in this community to help transform this community into a place. Not that there's something wrong with it, but we could make it a better place for all people here in this community. And you got to start when they're young. And so I say it was a God thing. We've been praying about this, and one thing led to another, and the owner of this building really afforded us a deal that we could not pass up. The building was in need of some repair, but very minor, and I know that was a God thing as well. So the building became available, and we opened up this past summer, the summer of 2016 when it began. And we had a great turnout initially. Now, once school started, we had a drop-off, but God sort of called me away from this community now. I've been called to pastor of the First Baptist Church in Bishop. And obviously my first concern was, what are we gonna do with this gym? Because my heart said, you know, this place has to stay open. I really feel like it's something that God wanted. And so we began to pray about it, and we had a couple of individuals right under our own noses, little beknownst to us, that were going to serve as capable leaders here. So we got Jose and Romy and Simon and his wife who really stepped up and began sort of taking ownership of this gym, which really it just makes me so happy because, you know, we know that this is important for this community, and by us leaving, the initial thought was we're going to just pack up everything and shut down. But now that they've stepped up, it has really just why did I even doubt God? I don't know, but I'm just very happy. And so I think the great things are going to come from this gym in the long term for this community. And under the leadership of those two individuals, I think good things are yet to come here. And we're only going to be 2 hours away, so I really plan to be, somewhat active in what goes on here. Maybe even adopt a part of it so that we can continue funding it financially. But that really is the story here of Zapata Boxing Club. And being a pastor, I have to say that, work in the ministries can be challenging sometimes because God's work really, you don't draw a salary from it. You don't go into serving God for the money because quite frankly, there isn't any money. So my biggest concern, once we knew that we were going to leave, was who's going to want to invest the time here without any pay to ensure that this continues. And I really feel like He sent these individuals here to take ownership and leadership of this gym. And so I'm very thankful for that. The obvious question for somebody hearing this might be, how does a church get involved with a boxing gym? A church preaches Jesus Christ. Some people think a pacifist, and then you've got a sport like boxing that's very violent. Well, anybody who's been involved in boxing knows that it requires a lot of discipline. And really that's the element of this sport that we're looking to help transform these young kids that come through here. Now, one of the main reasons we initiated this club here in this community was, like I said, I'm at the high school as well teaching, and so I kind of could see, get a feel for the culture there of that age group, the ages of 14 through 16, 17, and I could kind of see how sort of the needs of these young people. And one of the biggest complaints I always heard was, "Sir, there's nothing to do. It's about there's nothing to do. A lot of these kids fish. We got a great lake here, but beyond that, they complain about nothing to do." And so this place is going to serve a great purpose in this community, in that it's going to provide the kids an opportunity to come to rehearse a little bit of their discipline, instill a little bit of discipline in their lives, and hopefully that will carry over into other aspects of their lives, their schoolwork, and how they respect their parents at home and whatnot. It's all about respect in boxing. You respect your opponent, you respect yourself, and so we hope that will carry over into these young folks. Now, there's other benefits to somebody being involved in this program. We've heard stories from parents like, well, Miko used to come home and all he would do is get on that Xbox or something. He'd play till 1 in the morning, and kids overweight, poor diet. And now that he's boxing, he's beginning to look around and he's looking at other kids that may be a little more fit. He's getting a little winded after hitting the bag for a little while, and he realized, maybe I need to get in shape. Maybe I need to stop eating all that junk food. And some of these parents report back that those kids that are like that, after they've been participating here in the gym for a while, if they get home, they eat, boom, out like a light for the night. So the kids are starting to get into a lifestyle that's more conducive to healthy living, which is a good thing. So that excites us when I hear stories like that from parents, and so we're hoping that could be sort of the case with all the kids. Of course, the other benefit as well too is boxing historically, especially with friends that I know that have other gyms, especially with Jaime, for some reason the sport attracts your troubled kids, and I don't like labeling kids like that, but some of these kids have sort of brought that on themselves with some poor choices that they've made in life. But we can't throw the towel in with those kids, and so this place offers them another opportunity to make things right. You know what I mean? You got a kid who's been told, you haven't passed on your STAR test, and you're special ed, or you're this or that, and they get all these labels, and you start carrying a lot of those labels around, and you start feeling pretty down on yourself. I've seen it over and over again. But this place here is sort of like an opportunity for for these kids because it's an individual sport. It's not a team sport. And what you put into it is what you get out. You reap what you sow. And so these kids come in here with all these labels. They have another opportunity to sort of make something of themselves. And I'm not talking about going out and winning a gold medal, gold glove. I'm just talking about self-esteem. They begin to see themselves in better shape. They can last longer in the ring, and it just helps them overall physically. And then when they get an opportunity to actually go compete somewhere, and maybe even be victorious in some of these competitions, they bring home a trophy or something, and I can tell you that does wonders for the self-esteem. And so, you know, those kids have another opportunity at doing something in life positive, you know, here through this gym and through all that this gym represents. I've heard so many stories, and I've got several uncles, 3 of my uncles, actually all of my uncles were boxers at one time or another, but 3 of them will tell the story of how, and they're very successful. They've had successful careers in life, but they grew up in a bad part of Corpus Christi, and so a lot of drugs where they were at, and kids making wrong choices. And they always tell me that because they were involved in a boxing gym, that their excuse or their out to their buddies who would come and say, hey, come on, let's go and do this, let's go doing that. Their excuse was, no, I can't, man, because I'm training. You know, and my uncle, one of them in particular, would tell me, you know, that thing saved me. That boxing gym saved me from getting into a lot of trouble. And I can see that happening here. You know, it's an out for some of these kids. There's a lot of peer pressure these days. And all the kids got to say is, look, man, I don't want nothing to do with that because I'm in training and that hurt me. All right, so I can go on and on about the benefits of this gym, but all I can say in a nutshell really is that it's good for the community as a whole, and not just for the troubled kids, but even for your more well-behaved kids or kids who have 2 parents. It'll benefit anyone. So if somebody was interested in just getting into better shape, what better place than to come out and boxing? Boxing will get you in shape a lot quicker than a lot of the other sports out there. And in fact, you can see me sweating in here. There's no air conditioning. Okay? You work out in here in the heat of the summer, and I guarantee you're going to drop some weight really, really fast. It's a great location. We've got a lot of equipment in here, and we're going to continue to grow. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. And I can foresee this place a year or 2 down the road being a very top-notch, high-quality boxing gym. And I really believe that this community is going to produce some champs that are going to go on to fight professionally. One of these days, maybe we'll have that water tower behind us with the names of some of the champs that come out of Zapata. I truly believe that. We've got some kids with big hearts in here and that are willing to make the sacrifice, working out, doing all that they have to make and achieve that goal. So I'm really excited. It's unfortunate that God has called us away to another city, but I can guarantee you that we're going to be very active in communicating with the folks here that are running the gym, and we're always going to have a hand in this ministry, I call it ministry, to this community through this boxing gym.